Hey there, it's Brittany Chavers, and I am back with the September Jesse James Beads Magical Mystery Bead Box, and we are going to make an asymmetrical statement necklace using the Overlook Hotel box. I did the unboxing on my channel, so you can catch that. But we are going to be using this beautiful brass chain, the 1921 chain with the black rhinestones. And I kind of already went through all of the mixes in the box and pulled out the beads that I want to use. So I grabbed all the gold beads, some black beads, the pearls, some of these topaz colored crystals. I grabbed these crystals because they were my favorite from the box. They're just so yummy. I grabbed some more black crystals and the brass stampings. And then I did grab some findings from my stash, like a clasp and jump rings and some stringing material. I grabbed a ring from my stash. We are going to start with the chain. This is going to be almost like an imitation lariat necklace. It's not really a lariat because of how it'll actually come together, but it'll look like a lariat for whoever's wearing it. I am going to start with my chain. I need two pieces, and one's going to be a little bit shorter than the other. All right, so this piece is going to be approximately 14 inches. And this will be the longest strand. And then the other strand, I'm going to make about 4 squares shorter to start. If I want it to be shorter than that, then we'll go from there. But I am going to grab a jump ring and my clasp. I'm using just a generic toggle and 2 jump rings. And I am going to connect both pieces of chain to those to the clasp. I'm going to make sure that the shorter piece will eventually be on the outside of my necklace. We'll close that up. You can put the chain on both pieces on one jump ring, but I want them to move independently of each other, and I think doing 2 jump rings will achieve that. So the shorter strand is on the outside. I'm going to take my ring and slip both pieces of chain into the ring, making sure that that outer piece remains on the outside. Okay, that's not going anywhere for a moment. And then I am going to take my large crystal, and I have a ball head pin, and I'm going to do a wire wrapped loop. And I'm going to do that for both of these crystals. We'll trim. So I have a dangle made out of my black large checkerboard looking crystal. And then I have some 24 gauge German style wire that I am going to wire wrap onto our dangle. I'm just going to do a couple little wraps. I'm going to slide on one of my little hexagons. Do a wire wrap loop at the top. And then I am just going to do the exact same step with our next hexagon. But instead of just closing the loop at the top, I'm going to attach it to one of my pieces of chain, and that's what will hold our ring in place on this side of the necklace. Lovely dangle here. And I'm just going to slide that onto my chain. And I'm going to do the exact same thing for this piece. Okay, so now that that's been completed, these pieces are hanging below the ring, and I'm going to string some beads onto the other side of the necklace. I'm going to attach a jump ring to this larger ring and then string in this pattern, and I'll show you the pattern I've got. I've got some of the topaz color or citrine color, and then black and white alternating, and then if I need some extra length, I have some of this chain left. I'm super excited to have this come together. I'm not going to be using these stampings because you won't be able to see them behind my neck, but I'll incorporate those into a pair of earrings. So to finish off this necklace, I'm going to take some 19 strand bead-along bead stringing wire in gold. I'm going to take my jump ring and attach it to my larger ring and close it up as tightly as possible. There we go. And then I am going to crimp onto that with my bead stringing wire. Take my wire and a crimp tube, put the crimp tube on the wire, and then my wire through my jump ring and back through that crimp. I'll swing that down to my jump ring, making sure that my wires are not crossed. I'll take the crimping pliers and put that in the largest notch and squish. And then we'll turn 90 degrees, squish again, moving it up the pliers, and then I'm going to squish one more time. And then I'm just going to thread my beads onto my wire. And I'll move all those beads down to the connection point and slide some of the beads down both pieces of the wire and then trim. Making sure not to grab the main wire in the nippers. Move everything down. And then I am going to take this end and crimp directly onto my piece of chain. Now it's longer than I need, but that's okay. I can trim that once I decide how long I need this side of the necklace to be. So I'm going to come through my chain, back through my crimp bead, and then down through a couple of these beads. And then I'm going to grab my chain and my wire and pull. And that's going to eliminate my excess wire. Okay. Now we want to make sure there's no, like we have some gap here. We don't want that. We're going to pull that a little bit tighter. This, typically I would say, make sure your necklace is loosey-goosey. I'm not going to do that here because it's just one side of the necklace and the connection point's making it flexible enough. Don't tighten it to the point where it's going to snap, but you can have it a little tighter than you typically would. We just want to make sure that there's enough room up here to crimp. Okay. All right, I'm going to take my crimping pliers and do the exact same maneuver we did before. Squish, turn 90 degrees. You can use bead covers if you'd like, but these crimp tubes are pretty enough that we don't need to put a crimp cover on. And then I will take my nippers and cut this excess wire right here. And this is what our necklace looks like so far. I'm going to come out a little bit and look at this so far. It's so pretty. We just need to put a clasp on the other side, but I need to decide how long I want. The length of this side will determine how long these hang below the ring, because the clasp is what is going to hold this side in place with the other side. So I want one side to hang lower. It'll be this one. Okay, and then we just got to decide where the ring is going to really fall. I think right there. So right here is where I'll cut my chain, and then I'm just going to use a jump ring to attach the other side of my toggle. And I will definitely show you photos of the necklace on a mannequin because it can be a little difficult to understand the mechanics while it's on a flat table in a small field of view. But we will go ahead and clasp this. And this is the necklace. It's so pretty. It's super elegant. I love the color palette. Very timeless color palette with the gold, the black, and the white. And then we'll make a pair of little earrings to go with it. So I'm going to grab these two pieces. I think we'll do this really pretty crystal in the middle. I have these etched or these textured beads. I'm going to put those on the side. We'll go ahead and put this gold bead here. And then some daisies above the white beads. And I'll take some head pins and do some dangles. Hold that in place and then wrap. And I will do that exact same thing with the white beads with the daisy spacer. Here we go. We have two cute little dangles that match our necklace. I just grabbed some little Huggy style earrings from my stash. And I'll just swing that open. Place on my component and close it back up. And there we have some nice, cute, like Art Deco-y earrings to go with our beautiful necklace. Like I said, I'll include some really pretty pictures. Thank you so much to Jesse James Beads for having me back. And I hope you enjoyed the tutorial today. If you're interested in the Magical Mystery Bead Box, check out jessijamesbeads.com. Have a great day. Bye-bye. It was a hard day of being a taco, huh? You were a taco most of the day. Now you're sleeping. You're sleeping on your back because you couldn't while you were a taco.